Hello, everybody. My name is Victor Volkman. I'm the current president of the Upper Peninsula Publishers and Authors Association, and we are here to present an evening seminar with a very special guest tonight, Diane Windsor of Motina Books Publishing, and she's going to explain how to set up a print-on-demand store from your own website. Diane Windsor is the founder of Motina Books Publishing. She is a lifelong reader, and at one point her dream was to become a published author. She realized she's better at publishing wonderful books by other authors, just like me, than writing her own. Diane is also passionate about helping all authors with book marketing and hosts a monthly Zoom call that is open to all authors to brainstorm their creative marketing ideas. Thank you and welcome, Diane.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. I'm happy to be here. Um, yeah, so I have a PowerPoint presentation, and then I'm going to hop between some websites as well as we're talking about selling your books directly to the reader. So let me go ahead and share my screen. And if anybody has like questions during the presentation, I think it's fine to interrupt me. I don't think we have a huge amount of people, so I don't know if you want to put a question in the chat or just unmute and interrupt me. I'm totally fine with that. Is that okay, Victor? Are you all right with
Yeah,
that?
absolutely.
Okay.
It's your game.
Okay, great. Then I'm gonna share the screen. Ba-doop, ba-doop. There we go. Okay, so I've given this presentation a few times now to several different publishing organizations. There's kind of a lot to it, so I hope I don't, get too deep into stuff. But again, you're welcome to interrupt me and ask me questions, and even after the fact, I will share my contact info with you. So you're more than welcome to reach out later if you have any questions. Okay. This is me. I started Motina Books about 10 years ago. It is a traditionally modeled publishing company, so I don't charge authors to publish with me. Um, but I am the only employee in my company, so I don't publish too many books a year. Like I'm shooting for about four. And I started out focusing on publishing work by moms and women. And I still kind of stick to that, but I do have several man authors whose writing I really like. Basically, I get my new authors right now through referrals from previous authors. Okay, so what do we mean when we talk about selling books directly? We are cutting out the middleman. We are not using a distributor or a retailer other than ourselves. And so why do we want to do this? We want to keep more profit in our pockets. We want to get paid when the book sells and not have to wait for payments from Ingram Spark or Amazon or any bookstores. This next one is a biggie, I think. We want to get to know who our readers are. It's like when you sell a book through Amazon or Ingram Spark or through another online retailer, we have no idea who the reader is, right? We don't get their email address or their name or address or anything like that. And by the way I'm going to, explain it to you tonight is we get to know who they are. And the last reason we want to build an audience of readers who are excited about our new releases. Oops, there we go. Okay, so where can you sell directly to readers? And for me as a publisher, one of my favorite things to do is participate in in-person events. I go to like I'm coordinating a local author fair in my town that's going to happen in April. I've participated in some that are um, held in libraries or independent bookstores. Barnes and Noble has become very supportive of indie authors, and I think this is nationwide. So I've seen a lot of indie authors who like they can set up a table in a Barnes and Noble and sell their books. I'm not 100% sure If they handle the sales, or if Barnes and Nobles does, I'm pretty sure the bookstore does, because they want to get something out of it too, right? But at least you're interacting with your reader that way. So that's in person. But then from your website, you can sell books that you have on hand, which authors have been doing for a long time, right? And I've got a ton of books in my office right here. And it's nice to be able to personalize and autograph your books that you're going to send out to a reader, and add other personal touches, like maybe a bookmark or a sticker or something. But also from your website, you can sell books print on demand so that you don't have to have a garage full of books. Um, you can also sell ebooks and audiobooks directly from your website. So for your direct sales strategy, like how you're going to do it, you want to make sure that you are following your local sales tax laws, because whether you are selling books in person or from your website, you may or may not have to charge sales tax. In person, you pretty much do. And getting a local sales tax license is not that hard. I have one for my company. I lived in Texas for a while. I had one there, and then we moved to Colorado a couple of years ago. And so I closed out the Texas account and I opened a sales tax and business account in Colorado. I mean, it's no fun. It's kind of a pain, but it it's easy to figure it out. Um, One thing that I've heard from authors about something that's kind of caused them to hesitate from selling books directly from their website is this out-of-state sales tax thing. Um, Now, I'm certainly not a CPA or a tax expert in any way, but my understanding, and I spoke to a tax person here in Colorado, is that there is a threshold that a vendor needs to meet as far as selling products to another state before they need to charge that other state's sales tax. So, like, if I'm in Colorado and somebody from Michigan buys a book off of my website, unless I hit that threshold, which is pretty darn high, it's like it could be as high as $50,000 or $100,000, then I don't have to worry about charging sales tax. And that is a problem I would love to have, but it's probably not going to happen anytime soon. Um, so just make sure that you're charging, the sales tax for your own state. And just getting started, you're not going to have to worry too much about other states. Now, charging sales tax does apply to digital products as well as physical. So if you're selling ebooks, you're going to have to charge sales tax on that as well as a paperback. This salestaxinstitute.com is a good resource. You can check them out and get some questions answered. And of course, talk to a tax expert in your area. Another part of my strategy is that I have a website, my Motina Books website, and I'll show you this real quick. And there we go. So here I go I can click on Our Books from the homepage. And if I click on one of the books, oops, I picked a bad example because it doesn't have any buy here buttons. I bet the Full Catastrophe does. There we go. So I decided that on my book pages on my website, for buy the paperback and buy the hardcover, I do not link to any other retailers. That if a reader, a customer is on my website and they want to buy a book, they can buy it directly from me. And I think everybody knows that you can buy a book from Amazon or Barnes and Noble or Bookshop. But if they're on my website, I want them to support my author directly. Okay. So you're going to have to choose your e-commerce platform. And I use WooCommerce. So as we go through this presentation tonight, I'll show you that. And I do use it for both digital and print books. For payments, I use Square. I'm sure a lot of you have probably heard of that. I have a cute little reader that connects to my phone using Bluetooth and it taps. I've had people tap to pay with their phone with Apple Pay. It's great. It works really well. And there is a Square plugin for WooCommerce that I can use. Does somebody have a question? I heard a chime. No? Oops. Victor, you're muted.
Sorry, we had a new person just join.
Oh, good. Okay. I thought maybe somebody wanted to ask something. Okay. Um, but there are other e-commerce platforms or other payment services. As far as my website goes, I use WordPress. I built my website using WordPress. Um, but this will work with other website platforms also, like Wix and Squarespace, I think. So you're not limited. Okay, so like we said, what types of books can I sell from my website? So ebooks and audiobooks. I really like BookFunnel. I don't know, are you guys familiar with BookFunnel? Have you ever used it before? BookFunnel is a service and they allow you to deliver digital content. So I've been using it for quite a few years. If I have an author and we're planning a book launch and we want to get a bunch of advanced reader copies out to their support team so that they can read an early copy and start leaving reviews, then BookFunnel allows me to send them an ebook. And it's not only like just sending them a PDF. They can download an EPUB or a PDF to their device directly to their e-reader. And so it makes it easier. And they also allow you to sell audiobooks, but there is an additional fee for audiobooks. I want to say it's like $50 a month, so it's kind of pricey. But I have looked into this recently, and I think that BookFunnel is the only way right now that you can sell audiobooks directly to your reader. They handle delivery. Their support is great. There are lots of integrations for online payments, and I'll hop over here really quick. So this is BookFunnel, and I'm on their help screen right now, and it's just saying this. They have a lot of very clear instructions about how to set up your pre-order, how to sell with PayPal or WooCommerce or Shopify. So they're very helpful and it's pretty easy to set up. So if I go, let me hop back to my website. Let's see, I can go to this guy. And if we go to buy the ebook, it takes the visitor to the sales page on my website, and then I add it to cart. It's in my cart, so now I can go to my cart and I can go ahead and pay for it. And then as soon as it's paid for, because I have connected this ebook to BookFunnel, BookFunnel will go ahead and deliver the ebook immediately to the purchaser. I was trying to see if there was one here. No, I can't see it. That's probably her. Let's see. Click for details. Well, this is it. I have to set up a SKU, just like, any item that you're going to purchase has its own unique ID. And I'll show you how to do that in a minute. But this is how we can see that what sale was made, what book was purchased. Okay. These are all of the payment platforms, the sales platforms that they will integrate with. Okay. So if you're going to sell print books from your website, there are some newish services that I have seen pop up, and they're all about selling your book directly to the reader. And there's one called Books By, and then Book Baby. And Book Baby has been around for a while, but I believe this is a new service that they're offering. And I think, from what I can tell from looking at their website, that what they're doing is they are setting up the store for you. And you do have to pay them to do that. But they're basically setting up the store, and then when the order comes in, they tell a print-on-demand printer to print the book and then send it to the reader, the customer. So there are two popular methods that I'm familiar with right now. You can set up a direct sales link from Ingram Spark and also from Lulu. And let's take a look at Ingram Spark first. It is really easy to do this. If you are already selling and distributing books through Ingram Spark, and I think a lot of people are, then you can set up what they call a share and sell link. And it's very easy. You get a higher royalty this way than if you're selling through, when they distribute to a bookstore, it's a higher royalty. The only drawback is that you are not capturing that reader information. And that, I think it's important. And also with this solution, you're not going to get paid right away. So if you're set up with an e-commerce platform and a payment method on your website, then they're paying you immediately. The customer is paying you immediately, like I just showed you when they add a book to their cart from my website. So this is a little bit different. So here's an example of how the payment works from this link from Ingram Spark. So say that you're going to sell a book that is regularly, the list price is $16, but you want to sell it to your readers at a 25% discount. So the reader from your website, the reader's going to pay $12. Then they do pay for shipping and sales tax. And so this is their total cost. So $15.90. From that, when they're figuring out the royalties on each book, there is a fulfillment fee that comes off and the printing cost. So, the fulfillment fee, that's still Ingram Spark taking their cut, right? Sure, everybody has to make money. We get that. But your compensation for the book is going to be $4, and that's on a discounted retail price. So it's kind of better for both parties. They're getting a little bit cheaper and you're earning a little more. I mean, when I sell a book listed on Ingram Spark with the discount that you have to offer, it's like you're making maybe $2 or even less. So this isn't that bad. So here's an example. This is when you log into Ingram Spark. This is your menu that you're going to see on the left side of your screen. And there is an e-commerce menu item. And that's what you're going to click on. You're going to say you want to create a purchase link. And then you choose the book that you want to create the link for. And you click over here on Create Link. And then it will go ahead. Um, you're going to enter the purchase price. So this might be the regular retail price at $26.99, or like we said, you can, provide it for the customer at a little discounted rate if you want to do that. And then it shows you right here, well, if you charge this much, then this is going to be your compensation. I'm honestly not sure if that includes their fulfillment fee. I would think it would. Okay. So then you're going to click on the generate link button, and it'll ask you, like, do you want to make an embedded link that looks more like this? Do you want to just have a link that you can copy and add to something on a website, on your website? You can even make a QR code. So it's pretty straightforward. I like this solution, except I don't know who my reader is. Yeah, so like the buttons that I have on my website, if I say buy the paperback, then that's like where I would copy that link to. So for my website, the customer clicks on the buy the paperback and it takes them right to the Ingram Spark sales link. Okay. Does anybody have any questions so far? No? I'm happy to provide this presentation to you too. Yes, hi.
Hi. Yeah, I do, because I'm kind of right in the crux of the Ingram Spark um, thing. So for the share and sell, and they say too, you can give your customers a certain discount, but you don't have to, do you? Can't you just have it for the retail price as well?
Mhm.
Okay.
You certainly
Okay.
can.
Okay. I
Lets
was
you
just
compete
curious.
against Amazon or something, by offering $3
Exactly.
off or
Yeah.
whatever.
So
Right,
many people
right.
have Prime, and so they might not have to pay shipping for on Amazon, but also I believe that a lot of people are not thrilled with Amazon these days and are happy to pay a little bit more if it means that they're going to be supporting an author directly. I've heard people say that.
Yeah, and I'm not opposed to giving a discount. I just didn't know because they always talk about it with a discount. So I didn't know if you couldn't use the program unless you did offer a discount.
No, no, no. You
Okay.
can set the price to whatever you want to. Yeah. Okay, Lulu. Lulu is pretty cool. What is Lulu Direct? Lulu is simply another print-on-demand printer, and they will distribute your books like Ingram Spark does, to the various retailers. But I don't use it for that. I use it simply for direct sales, Lulu Direct. So it enables authors, creators, businesses, and publishers to take advantage of direct-to-consumer sales. I love this part. Have books, workbooks, journals, magazines, calendars, and more custom printed. They really do have some cool products that are still print on demand. It's like they've got this template that you just fill out online, and it's a custom calendar. I just think it's so cool. And so, okay, available with popular e-commerce and hosting platforms like Shopify, Wix, and WooCommerce on WordPress. Um, So that's what it is. Print on demand, and we're selling direct. Okay, here are our supported e-commerce platforms, and they're very good about providing tutorials on their YouTube channel. They've got like step-by-step instructions for setting up WooCommerce on WordPress, and that's how I set my website up. It was very comprehensive. I was very happy about that because I didn't know. I mean, I had never set up a WooCommerce site before, but it showed me how to do it exactly and then how to integrate it with Lulu. So it was very cool. So here are the steps. So first, well, it says create an author website using WordPress. I had my website already, but then upload your book using a free Lulu account. If you have book files for your interior and for your cover, like if you've already uploaded those files to KDP or to Ingram Spark, they're probably going to work just fine for Lulu. What I have found is that sometimes it'll say, oh, well, your cover is the wrong size, but it's off by like a few, excuse me, hundredths of an inch or something. So I just go ahead and resize the cover specifically for Lulu and then upload it. But it's the same files should work. Okay, so connect your WordPress site to WooCommerce and then connect WooCommerce to your Lulu Direct. Okay, so I'm gonna show you what Lulu looks like while we're here. Okay, so if I want to go ahead and add a new project, I always forget. There we go. I click on my account, and again, it's free to create a Lulu account. And there are no fees. They don't charge you to add a title or to revise or anything. And I know that Ingram Spark just quit charging for revisions, so that's kind of cool. But they never charge you for that. So we go to projects. And these are all my book projects that I've uploaded. So we would start by clicking on create a project. And I'll just do that real quick. Oh, here's all the different things you can do. You can, I mean, if you want to create a family photo book, you can do that here pretty easily. Yeah, I love that, the calendar. But then you would select print book for like a paperback. And then it asks you, do you want to publish your book or print your book? So publishing your book means that they will distribute to other retailers. And if you're already doing that, like with Ingram Spark, you can't do it in two places. Your ISBNs are going to fight each other. So we'll just select print your book, and then you enter the information. Let me hop back to my presentation. Yeah, print your book. Okay, so this is what the cover looks like. You know, I can see that the spine is fine. It's got this previewer very similar to the KDP paperback previewer. This is something that I love. You can create bundles in Lulu. So I've got a 4-book series right here. And so I could create it as a bundle. So I'm selling all 4 books at one time, and they will print. When somebody makes a purchase, they will print all 4 books and send them all to the customer at one time because they bought a box set or something, which is very cool. And you can charge a little bit less for the box set. You know, they give the buyer a discount, like, because then you're still making enough money, but then they feel like they're getting a deal if you say, oh, 25% off if you buy all 5 of them, or if you buy the full box set. Okay, so setting up your store.
They don't actually include the boxes, do they?
They don't. I have looked and looked for those, like the slip-in boxes or something. They're not easy to find. Well, you can find them, but they're expensive.
Or
You've
you
got to
print
buy,
1,000, yeah.
yeah, you've got to buy a huge volume amount to get a decent per unit price. I'm still trying. Okay, so these are the steps for connecting your store to your Lulu account. So you're going to configure your store on the website, and then connect your store to Lulu, and then add your products to WooCommerce first on your website, and then connect the products from WooCommerce to Lulu. Okay, so again, we're going to choose our e-commerce platform. This is, let me show you real quick, but then we'll come back to the presentation because I've got it spelled out better. So here's my WordPress dashboard for my website. This is where I, do all kinds of configuration. And here is my WooCommerce menu item. And if I click on products, this is where I add my products. So they're all in stock because they're print on demand. They're always going to be in stock. And let me go ahead and just click on this guy real quick to take a look. So I've added him already. There's a field to add the product description, the book description, and then you want to go ahead and set the price. If you're selling an ebook, you've got to say it's virtual, and then you connect it to BookFunnel. You can set a shipping charge here, or you can set just kind of like a global charge based on media mail or something. And then under inventory, this is where you set your SKU. So this product is here. And let's go back here. Okay. So now we're going to connect the store to Lulu. And this is, at this link, this is where you can find all of those videos that I mentioned earlier. And they're really good about helping you out. Okay, so now let's hop back to Lulu. And I'm going to look at my store. So this is where my product was. You create your project in a different spot from your store. So my stores are right up there by my project. So I'm going to click on that. Uh-oh. Bye. Okay. So this is my store. It's simply my website. And I'm going to click on that. And then I can see the products that are in my store. So what did I say? So we connected the store. If you want to connect another store, then you click the one that you want to connect, and it will take you through the steps. Okay, again, I'm very impressed with their support and their instructions. Okay, adding the products, I just showed you that. So once you've added your books to Lulu, then you add them to as products to your website. Okay, so let's hop back to Lulu real quick. If I say I want to add a product, I would click here, and then we would say connect an existing product. And I don't think I have one right now, so let's hop back to the presentation. So let's just say I wanted to add this book, the Book Marketing Planner. Okay, this is what I just showed you in WordPress. All of the data. Oops. Oh, sorry, I got a little out of step here. I apologize. So what I just showed you on Lulu, add a product, connect an existing product. And then, okay, it's going to be in the store on your website and then on Lulu. So they're going to match. So you're going to select both. Okay. All right. I know, are there any questions about this? I know that it's a lot, and it's just a little confusing when you're going back and forth between the website and Lulu. So if anybody has any questions, I'll try to answer. Not right now. Okay, that's cool. Okay, so placing an order from your website, the customer will click buy the paperback or buy the hardcover, and they'll say add to cart, and it will appear in the cart. And then here is the information about the sales tax that I mentioned. It knew that if it's a Colorado sale, it needs to add Colorado sales tax. So it went ahead and did that. If the sale had been outside of Colorado, then it would not have added sales tax. Okay, then I'm going to get a notification. I'm going to get an email. Oh, you have a new sale. I'm like, really? That's nice. And so then I need to go to Lulu and click on channel orders, and I have to approve the sale. It's going to show up in my list of channel orders. You can see I've got one here that's been approved and it's in production, and then this one was canceled. But if it's waiting for approval, it will say pending approval. And then you just click on it and tell it to go. Now, again, with these direct sales, it will take longer than Amazon too, unfortunately. I mean, that's the drawback. But like I said, a lot of people these days, they enjoy supporting indie authors and publishers and not always buying from Amazon. Okay, so now what? Just like anything else, authors have to market their books. So I always recommend that people have their mailing list. I'm kind of disillusioned on social media these days. I've been focusing a lot more on my local community, getting out into the community and talking to people and working with local media outlets. That's been going really well. But social media and social media advertising, I know a lot of people still do that. And like Victor mentioned at the beginning, I host a monthly marketing session where we just brainstorm about creative ways to market your book. So any author is welcome to attend. There's no charge for it. We just get together and talk about how to market books. Yeah, and you can download this presentation, or I can send it to Victor and he can share it.
Sure. Yeah, that'd be great. I have tried the Ingram e-commerce links, and I don't feel like I've ever gotten any headway with them in terms of sales. I don't know. Do you have some success stories to share about that?
I mean, the most success I've had is when there's been a book launch and we've been, getting the word out. My author has a decent sized support team, maybe of like 50 people, 50 email addresses that he's, kind of recruited to help get the word out. And you just want to share that one link or direct people to your website where that link is. So how are you spreading the word about it?
That's a good question. They had
Marketing
this
box.
this promotion where you were supposed to like register your book in some category, and you were allowed up to 20 links, 20 of these e-commerce links to share. It's
Was that
not
true?
really it's not really the same way that you're using it though, is it?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's just like anything. We've got to get out there and market our books. So,
Yeah.
I mean, my mailing list isn't huge. I'm getting close to 1,000 addresses. And I get them kind of organically when I'm out doing community events. And also BookFunnel has a way to do group promotions, and you collect email addresses that way. So I have used that as well too. But yeah, it's really just a matter of letting people know where they can buy your book and where you want them to buy your book. I think Amazon, it is still so easy for people to go there. But I think if we, make a little effort to redirect them, it can work. Yes.
So I have another question with regarding Ingram Spark again too with the share and sell. When you sign up for that, they said you can either have a QR code or a URL or an HTML. These are all a little, I'm not real clear on any of
You
them, but
use all of them. Yeah. Should we
so
look at this?
because I have a lot of email addresses for a lot of my customers. I'm an artist, so I
Okay.
have, a kind of a captive audience there. Um, so this is just me being stupid with technology. Is this just like a URL address or an address I can put in an email and then they like, do I
That's
write it in an email?
That's exactly what it is. That's
Okay.
exactly what it is. Yeah. It's just a
Okay.
URL, a web address that you can, here, this should work. Oh, this is the actual buy page. That's what it looks like when somebody goes to your
Yeah.
share and sell site for a book.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and then they
Oh,
add it to the cart. Um, but let's see, I want to edit the link. So I click on the little pencil. There we go. Um, and then save. Oh, shoot.
Yeah. They're always
All
sending
right.
that confirmation code, and I don't know
Yeah,
why.
yeah. Well, we can hop back to the presentation because that'll show you exactly what it'll. There we go. Bye, Lulu. Okay. So this is what you'll see, right? So yeah, this one down here, the shop.ingramspark, that's just a website address, a URL. And yeah, you can go ahead and put that in an email and then say, click on the link below or click here, and it'll take them to the link to purchase it. For a QR code, that's really if you're going to be like at an in-person event and you have it printed on a piece of paper and somebody can grab their phone and take a picture of it, and then that will take the person directly to that purchase link. I've seen
Yeah,
some people email QR codes and I don't understand why, because I'm already on my computer, on my phone.
it's a little strange. If
Okay,
someone's using a
okay.
laptop and they have their phone handy, they'll
Yeah,
shoot a picture of their
exactly.
laptop.
Because the
But
QR code, and correct me if I'm wrong, it really is to take a picture of it with your phone, and that takes you to the
yes,
link.
yeah,
I mean, I've seen people do
okay.
creative things like they'll put it on their t-shirt or something. So, and then people can take a picture of the code on their t-shirt. And
So you
or
could put
business
that on
cards. Yeah,
bookmarks. You could have bookmarks made.
bookmarks. Yeah, yeah.
yes,
Okay.
yeah, you can put it on bookmarks. You can put it on
But
stickers.
okay. So but they have to take a picture of it in order okay.
Yeah.
Some people will put it on their back cover, which I don't do because I think it looks ugly. But I'm just an old guy.
I
So you
agree
could
with
have a
you, Victor.
flag made of it and put it outside my my studio.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
All
That's
right. Thank
awesome.
you for
Sure.
explaining that. So, but when you sign up for that, is that just something that we print from their webpage then?
Yeah, yeah. You could click on it. Here's a little download
Oh,
button.
okay.
You would click on that and it downloads it as just as an image file, a JPEG,
Okay.
probably. Yeah. And then
All
you
right.
would, if you're creating like you said, you're making a sign or some graphic that you want to have in person, or put it on a t-shirt or on a tote
Okay.
bag.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
There are
Thank
fun
you.
things to do with merchandise. I like creating bookish merchandise for like when I'm out and about. Um, so that could a QR code could go on your merchandise.
So URL codes are better to put on like websites and things where people are reading, and then a QR code is something visual for them if they're, okay. Got it. Thank
Exactly.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
Sure, sure. Does anybody else have a question? I'm going to stop sharing. I will go ahead and put my email in the chat. Is that cool?
Yeah, please. Well, also include it when we send it out to all our members tomorrow.
Okay, great. Yeah, and so Victor, should I send you the PDF of the presentation? Would that be
Yeah,
good?
I can just do it all in one shot. Then the YouTube
Yeah.
link and the PowerPoint and the email
Okay.
address.
Perfect. Perfect. I hope that was helpful.
That
I
was
know.
super helpful. I mean, I didn't realize that there was other print on demand options other than Amazon and Ingram. I'm just kind of
Mhm.
getting my feet wet with that. Otherwise, I've just had books printed and had them in my hand, which
Right,
I'd love to not have to do that anymore.
right, right. I will say that sometimes the cost of the Lulu books are a little bit higher than like if you're getting an author copy from KDP or from Ingram. So just be aware of that. Maybe
Okay.
adjust your pricing accordingly. You hate
Sure.
to
Sure.
you hate to raise the prices, but just as a heads up, kind of.
Well, and another thing, this is maybe a question for you and for Victor. Um, if you put a book on a print on demand service, can you also, I mean, I realize you can, um, but does it make more sense to have a small number of books printed in your local area so that you have 50 books and you're not paying printing or shipping on that many to be sent to you from, for example, Ingram Spark? Um, is that a reasonable thing to do, or will that be too costly for a small number of books, do you think?
Well, you'll save money over the long haul. Instead of making 10 orders of 5 books, if you can make one order of 50, right? Because your
Mhm.
shipping costs will be amortized a lot better, if that's the question you're asking. Or do
Well,
you mean like go to like Globe Printing in Marquette
yes,
and
yes, that's what
print?
I mean.
You'd need to go 500, 750, 1,000 to really make that pay.
Oh,
Yeah,
you've got
that's
a
what
book printer. There's a book
Yeah,
printer that you've
yeah.
used. Yeah.
yeah, that's what I was thinking, but my books tend to be full of color illustrations.
Yeah.
So I am finding I'm just now putting a previous publication that I had on Ingram Spark, and I'm finding that the price is about the same,
Oh,
my
okay.
cost. And then to have, like a small allotment of um, 100 books printed. And perhaps that's because I had a larger number printed from them before. Maybe it's less money for me now. So this isn't the first time I'm doing it. But
Mhm.
it's a costly book to have made, even on these print on demand things when it's color.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't
So
know of a cheap color POD solution right now. I mean,
yeah,
people will either go offshore and get 2,500 printed in Singapore or
yeah,
something like that. But
And then with Ingram Spark, you don't want to get the lowest level of quality either. You know what I mean?
color 50 is kind of hinky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll see through it. You know, you'll see through the pages. I got approved once and I'm like, oh, this is awful. We can't do that. So yeah.
Well, right. I'm just doing a small book in color 70 standard color. The book I'm actually in the midst of making right now is a large book, and unfortunately, you know, hindsight's 2020. I had done my original illustrations are in a landscape view, which is like, oh, gee, well, I didn't realize that it was that costly to go in a landscape view because my first one was like that, and the printer, you know, the local printer didn't tell me that, oh, you should have done it differently. But long and short of it, with as Victor has taught me through and has been very generous with his information via email. With Ingram Spark, if you go landscape, your only option is premium color, which then it's
Super premium. I mean, it's like coffee table quality book, which is
yeah,
not what you're
it's you know,
after.
it's
Yeah.
too cost prohibitive for the reader, I think, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I had done some children's books on the 50 pound, and then I had one with too much color saturation. And I got tons of returns, and they said, no, 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 you must reset this with the 70-pound paper. So you got to watch your color saturation too.
Yeah.
okay, all right. Yeah, so well, really super helpful. I mean, this is a lot of work on your part to figure this all out. So kudos to you. I mean, that's a lot of energy. It's not an easy thing to.
I really wanted to do it.
Yeah, it's a steep learning curve, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like I heard that it could be done. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna figure out how to do this. So
well, I appreciate that you sharing the knowledge with others because
of course.
It's a big help and shortcut for a lot of us other people that don't have perhaps quite the motivation you do.
And I know that there's a lot, and even like if I haven't added a new book in a while, I need to kind of like, you know, play around. I'm like, oh, is that the button? No, it's this. Oh, and I have to do that first. And it's like I've gone back to this presentation to remind myself. It's like, what order do I do this in? Like, okay.
Right. Yeah, well, I would think so because there's a lot. I mean, if you've not done it, just following you, I mean, I realize I'll have to watch a lot of videos to catch up. So.
Well, great.
Thank you for sharing, Diane.
Sure. Thank you. Thanks for having me. And really, if anybody has any questions, please feel free to shoot me an email. I'm happy to help if I can.
Thanks, Diane. You've been very generous with your time and energy, and we all appreciate it. And I think this is going to get a lot of views once we get it to the membership. And I want everybody here to subscribe to your newsletter because
thank you.
They need to do that.
Yeah, that would be helpful. But then, of course, I need to be consistent with getting my newsletters out, right?
I can't help you with that.
I know. I was really good at doing it monthly for a while, and then I'm like, oh shoot, I haven't sent one out in a couple months. I need to get on that. Need to practice what I preach, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you all. I really appreciate it.
Where are you from?
I'm in Colorado.
Oh, Colorado. Yes. Okay. I knew that. You said that. Yep.
Good night, everyone.